Hey everyone, today I'm going to be talking about the books of 2014, or in other words, my 2014 wrap-up. I'm just going to talk about the books I read, the books I bought, and favourite, least favourite, that kind of thing. So, let's begin. My Goodreads target for last year was 50 books, and I read 60, so I achieved this nicely. I read more books in the second half of the year than I did in the first half of the year. I actually read 40 books from July onwards, which is 66%. No particular reason, I don't think. I just obviously must have felt like reading more, quite simply, in the second half of the year. And I read some brilliant books, as you will see soon. I read a really good selection of books. Obviously the main two genres are obviously science fiction and fantasy. But I did read, I think, at least one book from every other major genre there is, including YA, which, if you didn't realise by now, I really don't read YA a lot, so that was quite something for me. Now, as far as the gender of the authors go, it was not a good year, quite simply. I read books by 34 different authors, and 31 of them were male, so 3 of them were female. That means percentages are 91% male, 9% female. Yeah, that's a lot worse than I expected. I knew it would be male dominated because science fiction, of course, tends to be heavily male. But even so, 91% was a bit higher than I would have liked. I was hoping for a more 75-25 split. But we'll see what we can do in the future. And the final little numbers to do with the books I read were the racial equality, and quite simply they were just as uneven as my gender one. Basically I read lots of white male authors in 2014. I would like to fix that a little bit in 2015, but that's for a different video. Now on to the books I bought in 2014. The first number is one that actually surprised me when I first worked it out in December, and that is the number of books I bought in total. And quite simply, I bought 127 books last year. Yeah, that's slightly scary, to be honest. I mean, that is a lot of books. I bought 107 of those books in between May and October, so 6 months of the year again. And I don't really have a reason for that, other than obviously same as the books read. I must have just saw lots of books that I found interesting between those 6 months, rather than the other 6. And the books I bought were more evenly split, I think, than the books I read. I bought science fiction, of course, and fantasy. I also bought a fair few sort of dystopian type novels, 1984 and such. And quite a few other genres, and crime novels as well, which I haven't got into reading yet, but still, I bought them. So it's been a good year. So, that's it for the numbers of 2014. Now let's go on to the books, of course. The first 3 books are the most significant or important books as far as the genre in question goes, and the first of which is one of the very earliest books I read of the year, and that is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. This is important not just to books but also to culture or influences as well, as there are so many references that other films and other things have used. I mean, even now, I don't think I've fully understood some of them. It'll probably be taking me several more rereads of this to actually finally understand where all the little references to real world things are. It's really significant and I loved it as well. The other 4 books in the series, they're okay, but not quite as good as this one. The second book I think is very important and significant is Childhood's End by Arthur C. Clarke. This is a very important science fiction book, and of course Arthur C. Clarke is, of course, one of the biggest names in science fiction, and this book in particular is one that really had an impact on me. It made me think more in depth than almost any other book of the entire year, which, considering its size, that's quite something, I think. Brilliant book, I mean, really good book. Also, the written review I did of this on Goodreads is one of my best written reviews I've done to date, in my personal opinion. I'm very proud of the written review for this. And the third book is Dracula by Bram Stoker, ebook version, so I haven't got any nice copies to show you. It's Dracula, so it doesn't need to be explained why this is influential. It's vampires, and it is the father of all vampire novels as far as most people are concerned. So yeah, it's very significant indeed. The next 3 books I'm going to show you are the 3 standout books, basically books that I really enjoyed in every single way, and I just thought they were just brilliant from start to finish. And the first of which is Hyperion by Dan Simmons. This is the first book in a set of 4. I'm currently reading the 3rd one, and this was phenomenal. I mean, I can't put into words how much I liked this book. It's a science fiction book, and the plot and the ideas are really, really interesting, and it has also a feel of a fantasy book about it as well, which I like. The second standout book is No Country for Old Men, which I read on my Kindle, so I don't have a physical copy to show you, and that is by Cormac McCarthy. This is a sort of western almost, set in Texas, and it's a really interesting book. The character development is amazing, I mean truly astonishing. The plot is really, really good, not very complex, although it doesn't need to be, because it works just so well. It's so well written, and the language and every single word in this book is so well thought out. I loved this book more than I probably displayed at the time, in fact. And the third standout book of the year is Retribution Falls by Chris Budding. This is, again, like Hyperion, the first in a set of 4, and I absolutely love this book. It is a steampunk book, which is a subgenre of fantasy, and basically this book made me think of the first time I ever watched Joss Whedon's Firefly. It has that same feel about it, and I love Firefly, as you may know by this point, so this book was simply brilliant. It was just fun every single page. Now on to the most disappointing book of last year, and quite simply you'll already know this if you've watched my channel for a while, especially if you watched it around August I think it was, and that is Ancillary Justice by Anne Leckie, which I read on Kindle, an ebook. And yeah, this book is a science fiction, it's a space opera, which I think fails in every respect. It doesn't work as a space opera, it was just weirdly written. The character development was, well, there wasn't really any character development, and it also felt as though the book had not even been finished. It felt like I was halfway through the book when it ended. The plot was extremely simple, and I just didn't enjoy it at all, really. But I could see the potential for it. Unfortunately though, the rest of the book put me off so badly that I know I'm not going to be trying the second one. Finally, on to the books I consider my least favourite books of the year. And these were actually books I read at the very end of the year. They were the second from last book. And they are the Maze Runner trilogy by James Dashner. As you know by now, I'm not a big YA reader. I've got nothing against it as a genre, but YA just doesn't work for me. And these 3 books, yeah, were bad in my opinion. The plot didn't make any sense to me, which, you know, considering I read a lot of science fiction, that's quite an achievement, because science fiction book plots can be quite complex. But this plot was, it's just silly. The character development was very poor indeed, and quite simply, I just didn't enjoy reading them. I mean, I gave them the lowest score of any books I've so far gave on Goodreads. They all got 2 out of 5 stars. So, and I don't do that easily. You know, I'm a very positive person. So these really didn't work for me. So that's it for the books, and indeed almost it for this video. But there's one final thing, and that is the one person who has inspired me to buy more books than anybody else. And this is not going to be a surprise to some people, and especially to the person in question, because I've mentioned them in videos many times before, and that is Estelle from Ornamentar. Estelle's made me, well, encouraged me, I should say, to buy at least 12 books that I'm aware of, probably more. And I can just point out, that several of the books in this video, like Retribution, Falls and Hyperion, were directly influenced by Estelle, and both of them got 5 out of 5 stars. So it seems like if Estelle inspired me to read a book, I'll really enjoy it. So that's actually for my wrap up of the books I read in the year. There will be a second video within a few days of now, where I'll talk about the overall year and how it went, and also my plans for this year, 2015. But for now, that's it. I hope you found this interesting, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.